Alrighty, folks. It's time to reveal something that I have known about since February, but I was reluctant to speak on it because I didn't really have any solid proof that I was right. Well, now I have absolute rock solid proof that I'm right. So I'm going to reveal something to you. You're not going to believe it, but it's true. And that's just the way it is. I mean, it's true. I have proof. I have rock solid proof. All right. So let's get into it, as I used to say. Here's the thing. All right. If you believe that you are talking to Andrea Von Helton anywhere on the internet, you are not. Okay, you are not talking to her. You're not talking to her. You just aren't. Okay, unless she's standing in front of you, you're not talking to her. Okay, that's the truth. Now, let me tell you what happened. All right, somebody. Okay, now I created Andrea 2 Google Plus accounts. Actually, I created her a Gmail account. She lost the password to it. I created her another Gmail account. So she had 2 Gmail accounts. Okay. One she had lost the password to, and so I made her a new one. Okay. Here's the thing. Alright. Someone tried to pose as her and tried to reach out to me. Well, Andrea's not going to reach out to me. That would be a violation of the OOP. Okay, but this was somebody posing to be her. It was not her, obviously. It was a troll. Well, gee, Von, how do you know it was a troll? Because they fucked up and they called an apartment a flat. They changed the word color to C-O-L-O-U-R, which is British spelling. And they used numerous British, Scottish, Irish colloquialisms in the course of the conversation. Alright, so it's obviously not her. It's somebody from Britain. Duh. Okay, now, here's the thing. Her Facebook, her MySpace, her Twitter, her 2 Google Plus accounts, everything that she has, probably even including her Yahoo Mail, which is something she uses every day, it's all been compromised by trolls. Now you say, well, Von, what's your proof that her Facebook page has been compromised? Because on February the 20th, 20 trolls, 20 of them, were approved for friend requests, and not one normal person was approved. Not one. And then subsequently thereafter, friend requests were turned off. Okay? Restricted. You can't send Andrea Von Helton a friend. If you're a new person, you can't send Andrea Von Helton a friend request. It won't be accepted. It'll be rejected. You won't get the add friend icon at all. Okay, so the trolls are in control of her Andrea Von Helton Facebook page, her MySpace page, and her Twitter. Of course, she never even used Twitter. But they're in control of those. They're in control of her 2 Google Plus accounts, which means they've got her Gmail. They have her Gmail. They have her Gmail. And if they've got her Yahoo Mail, they've got everything. But the important thing is that they have her Andrea Von Helton account, which means they know about all the private conversations that she's had, all the cybersex conversations that she's had with people. They know them all, because they've got them all. Unless she did it on Yahoo Messenger, which she probably did, some of them. But the vast majority was probably done on Facebook. They've got all of her conversations with John Chacon, going all the way back to November. So they've got all of her shit. She has been totally and completely compromised. Okay, so if you allege that you have been talking to Andrea Von Helton on her Andrea Von Helton Facebook page, sorry, you haven't. Okay, so all this talk that she's at a safe house, all this talk that she's going to school for guitar lessons, dude, she don't like a guitar. She don't have a guitar. She's never mentioned a guitar. That's all bullshit. She has no... Now, she did mention singing, that she would like to be able to sing, but when I showed her that she can't sing, well, that pretty much shot that down in flames now, didn't it? You know, I played back her own voice and let her hear herself sing. She can't sing worth a lick. But that's beside the point. The point is that she had no interest in no damn guitar, ever. That was a lie. Okay, and this crap that she's at a safe house, that's another fucking lie. All right, she's not at a safe house. She's not in Alabama. She's not going to college. She's not in an apartment. None of that shit is true. None of it. Now, I know somebody, well, what about the police officer that told the guy on the phone? He said it to get her off the, get him off the trail, to knock him off the trail, to get him to leave him alone. Okay, she's not at a safe house. Well, Vaughn, if she's not at a safe house, and she's not in an apartment, and she's not in Alabama, and she's not in California, and she's not in Colorado, where the fuck is she? She's at John Chacon's house. Well, Vaughn, how do you know she's at John Chacon's house? Because John Chacon posted a picture of her in mid to late March on the header page of his Facebook page. Now, he subsequently took it down when we exposed it, but, you know, he had a picture of her in March. She's still there, folks. She's never left. And he's not letting her on the internet. He's not letting her have a telephone. He's completely cut her off of those things. And I don't blame him, actually. Because, see, remember, folks, John Chacon had been talking to Andrea since last November. He literally lured a woman to leave her husband and her children. He lured her away, making all kinds of stupid promises to her. You know, lured her away on the promise of a horse and all that good shit. Just like I posted at one time. But, you know, and so he's not going to let somebody else do him the way he did me. So he's not giving her any internet. She has no internet. She has no phone. Okay, and since she can't drive, she's literally a slave at his house. She's literally stuck there. Because without a phone and without internet, she can't contact anybody to tell them that she's in danger. Now, can they? No. Nobody will never know. Okay, so she's literally at John Chacon's being held against her will, and there's not a damn thing any of us can do about it. Not a damn thing. But she's been there. She's been at John Chacon's since February the 15th. She's not at no goddamn safe house, folks. She's not. If a cop really did tell somebody like that, that over the phone, they were just blowing them off, man. They were just blowing them off. Okay, I've worked with safe houses. And I've even worked with a battered woman's shelter in the past. Okay? I'm sorry. She's not there. She's not there, okay? She's at John Chacon's. She's been at John Chacon's. Well, now, Vaughn, are you absolutely sure about this? Yeah. First of all, he posted a picture, and now we're not getting Andrea's mail no more. We're not getting it. Mom said she, you know, and I confirmed with her that we haven't received mail for Andrea in a long time, which means her mail is going somewhere. Well, gee, Vaughn, where's her mail going? Her mail can't be given to a temporary address. Okay, the mail won't work that way. Mail has to be given to a permanent address. Well, what's her permanent address? Well, it has to be John Chacon's. That's the only place she's been. Okay, so her mail is going to John Chacon's house. It won't go to no safe house. Safe houses are temporary. You know, better women's shelters are temporary. They're not going to send her mail there. They want a mail. In order to send mail, it's got to be a permanent address. If you don't believe me, ask them yourself. It's got to be a permanent address. Okay? Her mail is going to John Chacon's house. All right? And she's been at John Chacon's since the 15th of February. Just like she told. And in fact, she even told you. In the now infamous Andrea tape, she even said, I'm staying here. Well, where's here? Here is at John Chacon's. She's staying there. She's been there from day one. Okay, and all these rumors, all this, you know, remember my video called Rumors? All these rumors, all this speculation, it's all put out there by the trolls. The trolls have control of her Facebook, her MySpace, her Twitter. They got control of both of her Google accounts. They've got control of damn near everything. And now that they've got that information, they've probably got everything she has. Now, the only question is this. Did she give that stuff up willingly, or was she locked out? That's a good question, and I don't have the answer to that question. But if you believe that you're talking to Andrea on the internet, anywhere on the internet, I'm sorry, you're not. You know, Freedom Fighter said she come into one of him, you know, him and his buddies were having a chat, and Andrea waltzed into his chat one night. You know, it wasn't Andrea, it was a troll. That's how they knew where you were, dummy. Andrea wouldn't have known who you were and wouldn't care who you were. Okay? Freedom Fighter 29, who the fuck, you know, I mean, she doesn't even know you. She doesn't even know you. Okay? So, no. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but even the trolls are getting played. Because there's even trolls out there that think they're talking to Andrea. They're not. They're not talking to Andrea. Nobody is talking to Andrea. These are trolls that are in charge of all of her shit. There is nobody talking to the real Andrea. The real Andrea is John Chacons. She has no internet and she has no phone because he won't let her. The one time Andrea did try to reach out, John snatched the phone from her, told her time was up, and hung it up real fast. And that comes from my mother. Okay, and you know me and Mom don't get along. But that comes from my mother. He literally snatched the phone out of her hand, told her time was up, and hung up the phone before she had a chance to do anything. Okay, so that right there should tell you all you need to know about John Chacon, right? He's got her on a short leash. And why? Because he knows that if he lets her on the internet, she's going to cybersex, or she's going to try and contact me, or she's going to try and contact the police and tell them to get her out of there. One or the other. I don't know what. I don't know which. But one thing's for sure, she has no internet because John won't let her have it, and she has no phone because John won't let her use it. And if she does use it, he's got to be right there when she does. You can bet on it. Because he's not going to let her do me the way do him the way she did me, see. He's not going to let that happen. He's not going to let that happen. So I guarantee you, he's got her on a very, very short leash. Guaranteed. You know, there is this thing called a welfare check where you can call and have the police go out and check on her. Hey, if you've still got John Chacon's info, call him up. Have him go out and do a welfare check. But she's not at no safe house. She's not. She's not, guys. Trust me, she's not at no safe house. She's at John Chacon's. She's been there since the 15th of February, and she's still fucking there. And she has one of John Chacon's female friends, I think her name is Taylor, that takes Andrea to court and back. Okay, but she's not at no safe house. She never has been. That's a lie. Okay, that's a lie. Because there's, now, Vaughn, how do you know? Because there's absolutely no record on the computer of any kind at the courthouse. None. Nothing. Not a zip. She's not there. Okay? So, and if she was at a safe house, they would have at least some kind of information. You know, because I asked them, I was very specific. I said, I don't want to know where she is. I just want to know that somebody in authority knows where she is. Well, nobody does. And that's because they don't have her. They do not have her, guys. John Chacon has her. And he has had her. I mean, think about it. She's a young, she's 24-year-old nymphomaniac. What man in his right mind is going to give that up? No way. No fucking way. Sex every night? You know, no way he's giving that shit up. Okay, so he's got him a hot young woman, and he's not going to let her go by hell or high water. And that's the truth, folks. And now you know it. Like I said, I've already proven to you the Facebook is under control of the trolls. And you know if the Facebook is, then you know the MySpace and the Twitter is as well. Okay, so I've already proven her Facebook is under control of the trolls. I've already proven that her Google Plus is under the control of the trolls. Well, that's the majority of her shit right there. Okay, so no, if you think you've been talking to Andrea, I'm sorry, but you haven't. The real Andrea is at John Chacon's. She's been there since February the 15th, and she ain't leaving because she ain't got no way to leave. She don't drive. And without a phone or without internet, she can't cry out for help or try to get anybody's assistance. That's just the facts, man. That's the truth. John Chacon lied when he said that I was yelling at her the day she was leaving. I never yelled at her the day she was leaving. I was packing her shit. How could I be packing her shit and yelling at her at the same time? Well, you can't. Okay, that's bullshit. So no, I wasn't yelling. So that was one lie from John Chacon. The other lie was that she was at a safe house. He was the one that started all this safe house shit. John Chacon was. He was the one that started it all. Okay, that's where that safe house shit comes from. She's at no safe house. There was nobody down in the bottom level of the courthouse waiting on her. Well, how do you know, Vaughn? Because I was there. There was nobody waiting on her when we went downstairs. Nobody. There was nobody waiting on Andrea when we went downstairs. Okay, she's not at no damn safe house. And if a policeman really did tell him that on the phone, he was just shucking and jiving him. Because she's not there. There's no record of her in the computers. Okay, none. She's at John Chacon's, and she's been at John Chacon's, and she's really got it made sexually. I mean, she's got John Chacon, she's got his male friend down the street, and she's got 2 women friends of John's that she's with. So, I mean, you know, she's got her menage a trois plus, you know. She's got it made sexually, because that's what she said. Remember, folks, she told me to my face twice that if I didn't get a woman in here, she was going to leave and find her a couple. Well, she found her 2 couples. So, you know, sexually, I guess she's doing all right. But the thing of it is, she's probably being held against her will. For sure, she's not going to get internet or a phone, because there's no way John's going to let her screw him like she did me. No way. He's not going to let anybody talk to her, because anybody that talks to her is going to talk her into leaving, right? And he don't want that. So he's got her on a really tight leash, I guarantee it. If she has any phone conversations at all, he's going to be right there. You can bet on it. Okay, but anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you. And I had my suspicion. I've had suspicions on this since February, but I wanted to make sure. Okay, I wanted to make damn sure. And now I'm absolutely positive because I got rock solid proof. But I wanted y'all to know that, you know, to reiterate, yes, I reiterate a lot. Now, I wanted y'all to know that if you think you're talking to Andrea, you are not. She's not on the internet. She's at John Chacon's, and she's on a very, very tight leash, okay? All right, that's all. That's all. Y'all have a pleasant day, better tomorrow. See you.